Hello everyone, we will continue the topic Web Dynpro ABAP, and in the previous videos we started with the concept of table. We discussed why we are creating a table so that we can go for multiple records or multiple data. After that, based upon that requirement, we have written the logic in the assistance class method. We have written the query to fetch the data from VBAP table. Now, we need to call this method. Anyways, we called this method in the on action display. If I will go for our view, if I will go for the action of the button, if I will go for submit button, firstly, I will go to change mode also. Now, if I will go for the action on action submit, sorry, on action display. Now you can see we already called the method get underscore data, but at that time we only have the VBAK data. Now we added the logic for VBAP also. We have one more output parameter. So what I will do, I will simply comment this code and I will call the method again so that there will not be any confusion. So I will simply go to pattern button. I will go to ABAP object patterns. Now I will go for passing the instance. You all know what is the instance for this particular assistance class, WD underscore assist. You all know in the component controller, we have a attribute which SAP generated for the assistance class, which is referring to our assistance class. So what is our assistance class? Z assist underscore sales underscore order underscore DTL. Now I will again call the method get underscore data. And we will be able to see now 5 parameters. Previously, we have only 4 parameters. Now we have one more parameter for VBAP also. I will just copy same to same things. It is LV underscore VBELN. It is LV underscore ER dat. It is LV underscore ER ZDT. LV underscore ER num, LV underscore VB type. Now, this is our internal table. So I will declare one internal table, suppose LT underscore VBAP. Now we need to declare LT underscore VBAP. You all know how you are declaring a internal table. Internal table type table of structure. How we are declaring the internal table. Suppose if I want to declare, I will write internal table type table of structure. Now, structure can be local structure, structure can be global structure. And in the previous video, we already created the global structure of 3 columns. So can I directly use that? I can use that also. So if I will go for SC11 transaction code, I will simply use that structure. And the best way is always best. You all know that type of LTVBAP will be same as that of TVBAP. So what you can do, you can simply double click. And you can see TVBAP is of this type. Is it because it is a table type? So we have internal table type. You all know if you are not going for structure, how you can declare the internal table type. So I will simply go by that way. So best way is always double click. Whatever the parameter you want to check that type, just copy this. And now I will write LT underscore VBAP type table type. Here I cannot go for type table of because it is already a table type. If you see, it is already a table type. If you are using structure, then you can go for type table of. If you want to declare by type table of method, then you can write in this way. Type table of your structure. So both have one and the same meaning. I will just check the syntax up to this level, and now I will activate. Now we will go for most important understanding here. Now what is the understanding? You will give the input into this variable. We have the input of sales document number. This input will go to this method. Whenever this input will go to method, we will get the data from VBAK table. We will get the data from VBAP table. Whatever the data you are getting from VBAK, you already set that data. Now we need to set the data for VBAP. If I will go for the layout, whatever the data is coming, we need to bind with this particular table. We need to bind with this particular table. This is our requirement, so that it will be visible to the end user. It will be visible to the end user or customer. So I will simply go for the method. Now here again important understanding, and guaranteed this question will be in the interview. Once I will proceed, you will understand. High probability of this question will be in the interview. Now, you all know I will go for Dynpro code wizard. I need to set. Now I want to set. Now I want to go for set as table operation, because we are going for table. We are setting the values in the table. So we need to go for set as table operation. Now we need to set with which particular node. This is our node item. You all know this node has 3 attributes. So whatever that data is coming into this internal table LT underscore VBAP, we simply bind with which node? We will simply bind with item node, or we'll simply set with item node, and we need to go for as table operation. A very important concept, set as table operation. I will go to context. Now, this question which I am saying will guaranteed will be in the interview. See, I used set as table operation, and I am choosing this node. When I choose this node, that checkbox, SAP removed that checkbox. Why it is happening? I will show again. Suppose I'm again doing the same process. Now I will again go to this Dynpro code wizard. I'm going for set as table operation. I'm choosing the node. But why SCP is removing this checkbox as table operation? An interviewer will surely ask this question. Suppose you are setting the value of a table. Then in that case, you are selecting the checkbox as table operation. If it is automatically deselecting, then what will be the reason? Or interviewer can ask in that way also. If you want to go for set as table operation, then what needs to be taken care? Here, the most important understanding, and I told you, yes, whenever during the practical something will come, we will cover the theory part also. I will go to component controller. I will go for yes. I will go for this item node. This is the item node which we are setting as table operation. Just see, we have a property here, cardinality. You all know what is cardinality. We discussed this cardinality during primary foreign key table relationship. If you do not have the knowledge of the same, you can refer ABAP dictionary playlist. There we have primary foreign key relationship, and you can understand the concept of cardinality. What is cardinality? At that time, we discussed cardinality is Number of records in one table corresponds to number of records in second table. Corresponds to number of records in second table. At that time, during primary foreign key relationship, this was the definition of the cardinality. Number of records in one table corresponds to number of records in second table. If you remember, we take the cardinality at that time 1 is to n, 1 is to 1, depends upon that data. But here, what is the meaning of cardinality? Most important thing, what is cardinality here? Cardinality is a combination of minimum and maximum number of elements in the node at the runtime. Cardinality is number of minimum. Cardinality is a property which tells us what is the minimum and maximum number of elements in that node. Just see, as of now, what is the cardinality by default? It is 1 is to 1. It means it will take minimum how many element? 1. Maximum it will take how many element? 1. This one is for minimum. This one is for maximum. So this particular node will contain minimum how many element? 1. Maximum how many element? 1. Just think, we have a table. We are binding the data with the table. So we can go for maximum any number of records and minimum it can be 0 also. Suppose simple example, you have a sales order which is in VBAK table, but there is no item data in VBAP table. It means in that table we have the 0 records. Maximum it can be any number of records. Yes, if it is guaranteed that whatever the sales order number is there, we have at least one item is there, then in that case we can go for 1 is to n because it is totally requirement based. If you are saying no, whenever we will go for sales order, it is not compulsory that items will be there, then in that case, yes, it will be 0 is to n because nothing will be in the table, no record in the table because your table is displaying the data from which table? VBAP table. So if we will go for requirement that table can have minimum 0 number of record and maximum can be any number of records, then we will go for 0 is to n. And interviewer will guarantee ask this question. Just tell us how you resolve that particular issue. So we simply change the cardinality to 0 is to n. I will go for same. Now again important understanding will come. This node is in the component controller. I will go to our view now. Now what people will do, they will go to the view. You can see in the view also from the component controller, we dragged and dropped the node. Yes. So in the view also, we have this node. Now people will say, okay, we change the cardinality 0 is to n and 0 is to n changed here. Now what we will do? Now I will just simply activate first. Now we will go for setting. And again, important point will come. Now I will go to the method. Now we will go for as table operation. And again, important point will come. Now I will go to our this Dynpro code wizard. We'll go for set as table operation. And now I'm going for item. Now people will think I changed the cardinality. Still this checkbox is getting disabled. Why it is happening? Now the next important point. See, we change the node in the, we change the cardinality of the node in the component controller because this node is in the component controller. Then we went to the view and this node was already available in the view. Now you change the thing in the component controller. How it will reflect into the view? That is the most important thing. Now people will say, I change the cardinality. So it is showing 0 is to n. See, we need to update the mapping. After that only the changes will reflect in the view also. So how I will do? I will simply right click and I will go for update mapping. In the future, we will widely use this property of date mapping. Just go for simple example. Suppose previously you have 5 attributes in a node. After that, you added the 6th attribute to the node, but it will not automatically come into the context of the view. It is in component controller node. Then you have to update the mapping. Here also I did same to same thing. You change the cardinality in the node of the component controller. Node is in the component controller. So to reflect the same changes in the view, we need to update the mapping. This is the second most important point of this video. Now I will go to methods. I will go to this method. Now we will see. It will work now. I will go for this particular Dynpro code wizard, set as table operation, and I will choose. You can see it is enabled. I will go for OK. So this is our node. This is our internal table. This SAP generated code. Now the best way is I will just move this data declaration at the top. So that all data declaration will be together. Now I will simply change here. Now you can see we are getting the node. What is the node? Item. Now we are binding the table. Which internal table? LT underscore item. But our data is coming into which internal table? LTVBAP. So we will simply replace this. So we are binding LT underscore VBAP internal table with this particular node item. So I will just activate everything. Most important video, because in this video we cover 2 to 3 most important things from the interview perspective. So what is the summary of this particular video? Firstly, I called this method again so that we will get the output internal table of VBAP also. Now I declare that internal table. It is totally your wish how you want to declare the internal table. You can declare by your structure type, or you can use the table type as well. Anyways, now LT item is not required because our internal table is LTVBAP. Because I already told SAP is generating the logic, but we need to do the changes. Yes. After that, what we did, whatever the data is coming into this internal table, we need to bind with this particular table. And this for this table, we bind it to the node. What is the name of the node? Item. This table is binded to this particular node item. It means we need to bind the data with this particular node. Then I simply went to this particular option, Dynpro code wizard. I used set as table operation. But as table operation checkbox is removing. Why it is removing? Because in the node, the cardinality is 1:1 at that point of time. What is cardinality in Dynpro ABAP? The cardinality means what is minimum element, what is maximum element. So it means maximum is 1. That's why as table operation is removing automatically. We took a perception that that table can have 0 number of record and maximum can be any number of records. So I change the cardinality 0:n. After that, we again tried, but it does not work. Then we need to update the mapping. Why we are updating the mapping? Because your node is in the component controller. You change the cardinality there. It will not reflect into the view. So you need to update the mapping in the view also. After that, That we have simply chosen the checkbox as table operation. It is working perfectly fine. Now we simply replace the internal table because our data is coming into LTVB AP. So we bind it with this. In the next video, we will understand the meaning of this because again, this is a important from interview perspective, and then we will understand each and everything in the debugging. So that's it in this video. Thank you.